Ai barkabawai, ang putyong. Abis ba ba? Afka play park wa? Did you free take how you re? Nari ro to spray. Ay you ba ja bu ji.
What the fuck are you saying?
Hey everyone! This is Hirotana Mai 2011. Welcome back to the final bonus episode of Let's Play Sonic Adventure DX. If you're wondering why I'm in a store, well, I felt like buying myself some clothes. No, I'm just kidding. Like the Sonic characters actually need clothes. Maybe you're reminded of Sonic Boom. In this episode, we're going to be talking about one of the most prominent features of the past two Sonic Adventure games, Chao raising. Now, I'm going to go on a tangent really quick, so I'm going to put up some pretty footage as I talk about the brief history of Chao. Chao are essentially an extension of the A-Life system that was created in Nights into Dreams with the Nighttopians. Little characters that would change depending on what you were doing in the game, and they would affect the mood, slightly change the music, and you can even fuse them with some of the nightmares that you crashed into them, creating creatures called Myopians. This was expanded upon greatly in Sonic Adventure with the Chao, where they're essentially little pets that you can raise, build up their stats, change how they look, and everything in between as they go into adulthood, and you can bring them into Chao races and even bring them across consoles with the VR system. Well, not VR, whatever the hell that little memory chip thing is called in the Dreamcast controller. Even I don't know, since I didn't exactly grow up the Dreamcast. But essentially, it acted similar to Tamagotchi Life, where you can take the Chao with you and raise some of its stats while you were going out or somewhat. And you can also bring it to a friend's house and trade Chao with them. This was greatly expanded upon in Sonic Adventure 2, but I don't want to get into that specifically until we actually get to that game. But essentially, all the stuff in Sonic Adventure 2, for the most part, was brought over to the Chao system in Sonic Adventure. Well, Sonic Adventure DX in general, because Sonic Adventure DX was, despite being the first game, it came out after Sonic Adventure 2. So they built upon this Chao system where the way that Chao are taken care of is that you give them tiny animals that you find inside of each stage, and not only does it give them different attributes like speed, swimming, and all that, which are essential for raising its stats and changing its appearance later on into adulthood, but it also gives them animal parts such as animal feet, tails, wings, eyebrows that make your Chao look like Roll from Ed and Eddie, and even rare animals such as unicorns and dragons and phoenixes. A lot of these are able to change not only your Chao stats, but how they appear, and you can also change how your Chao acts around you. Your Chao will run away from you and actively try to attack you if you're abusive to it, such as jumping on it or throwing it everywhere, or it will come to you and whistle. It will come to you when you whistle to it, and even try to hug you if you're nice to it by petting it and always paying attention to it, like it feeding it, and, well, not throwing an egg across the room when you're trying to hatch it. Chao also have many appearances ranging from adorable to That's essentially how Chao work. And one thing that I do want to bring up that Sonic Adventure DX brought to the table is special Chao eggs. You may be wondering, like I said at the beginning of the video, why were we in that store? Well, it actually has a Chao egg for us, that's hard to believe. What you have to do to get it out, though, you have to take that stone, this oddly convenient oval-shaped stone we find in the park, because we're essentially going to we're essentially stealing an egg from a store, because the moment we try to steal this, we're locked in. So, we take the egg, and we put the pebble on top of... What? Well, this is unique. Okay. I was gonna say, like, that is, like, such a weird glitch, and this guy is not gonna say anything about us stealing the egg because we're badasses like that, and we're gonna take this egg all the way over to the Chao Garden. And, you know, it's weird because even though DX did touch up a bunch of stuff, this Chao egg does not look the right color. This is supposed to be a gold Chao egg, and it looks more green, if anything. It's honestly really, really weird. In any case, the Chao Garden is over here, and yeah, this is recorded before the mission mode episode, so that's why that thing is there. In any case, once this thing loads... any day now. We are now inside of the Chao Garden, and yeah, now the Chao Egg is gold. You may notice I have another gold Chao over here, which, what's this thing's name anyway? I didn't name it. Okay, truth be told, I didn't really pay much attention to the Chao in the HD version of the game. They're kind of just there, so forgive me if they look a bit out of it. Did I name you? Oh, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. Well, it looks like Luigi. Okay, yeah, well, it looks like I'm resetting after this because, I did not mean to abuse that Chao. One thing I do want to bring up also, if you do abuse the Chao, you eventually can't get back on its good side by petting it and whatnot, but that's something also I want to bring up when it comes to, Chao being in love with you and whatnot. If you abuse the Chao too much, this actually goes into their adulthood because they'll, end up growing up with, PTSD, I kid you not, because essentially, the way that Chao aging works is that once they hit about 1 year's age, which 1 year for a Chao is about 5 in-game hours, a Chao will essentially... Well, excuse me, I'm getting that wrong. 1 year for a Chao is about 1 hour in actual game time. And once a Chao evolves, it will go into adulthood and start acting upon how you raised it, such as, you know, trying to escape from your grips if you pick it up if you hate it, or hugging you if you actively took care of it, like what I'm doing now. So essentially, they'll start acting upon how much they like you once they reach adulthood. The thing is, there's also a second pseudo-evolution that happens to Chao when they reach adulthood. When they reach about 4 years of age, they will have a second evolution that doesn't result in a cocoon, but you can see subtle changes to the Chao in general. Okay, it looks like he forgave me. So, normally if a Chao doesn't forgive you, or you were being too... Oh, now he went to sleep. If a Chao didn't forgive you for what you did, or if you were too abuseful for it, it will actively start to cry, and it takes forever to calm them down, so please don't be a dick and start doing that. In any case, the second evolution will change how the Chao looks again, and basically, the Chao will have subtle changes to how they look, and they'll have a different branch. I can show you on screen basically every single Chao evolution in the entire game, and if you're noticing halos and dark spike balls around the Chao, I'll get to that in a minute as well. The final phase of Chao's life is actually death. Yes, these Chao aren't immortal. Since they can age, they can also die. A Chao will either reincarnate, depending if you were good enough to it, and it will keep some of its stats when it reincarnates into a baby again, but you'll have to raise it all over again. However, it will remember you, it will keep its name, and one of the stats on it, such as if it had a D rank in swimming, will be increased by 1 if you raise that stat up to max in its previous life. However, if you were abusive to a Chao, it dies. It goes into a gray cocoon, it disappears with sad violin music, and it's gone forever. This happened to me a long time ago, and I regret when that happened, so I tried to take care of my Chao as good as I can, and oh, it looks like the egg that we brought with us actually hatched. What does this Chao look like? Oh god! Well, yeah, it looks like the Chao that we raised is very, very, bored. In any case, one thing I will show off really quick is the thing over here, which is the Chao Namer. Essentially, this thing over here, in the Dreamcast version, this is where you ascend your Chao into the little memory card thing that you can take with you, the whole Tamagotchi thing that I brought up earlier. In the DX version, in the GameCube version, this would connect to your Game Boy Advance, and you would go to the little tiny Chao Garden. The Tiny Chao Garden was a feature in Sonic Advance and Sonic Advance 2 where you can take your Chao with you on the go, and it would stay with you so long as you didn't erase that save file, because if you did, that Chao is gone forever. However, there is something very interesting with that I'll bring up after I go over this topic. In the HD version and PC ports, because of copyright with Nintendo and all that, that doesn't exist. So instead, this machine purely exists to name your Chao and say goodbye. If you are wondering what goodbye is essentially if you don't want a Chao, you messed up, you have an overabundance of them, or you outright just cannot stand Chao and you're a heartless bastard, you can send them here to delete your Chao. It says that your Chao goes off to live on its own on a faraway forest just to sugarcoat the fact that you're basically killing your Chao. And just to cement how much of a dick you are by choosing this option, just listen to the music here. Yeah, they went that route. They play a guilt trip with that adorable little picture of the Chow just holding a little thing of all of its belongings and saying goodbye. And to make it even worse is that if you actually want to say goodbye to this Chow, it will say the Chow you said goodbye to will be living happy. The Chow you said goodbye to will be happy living in the mountains far away. You will never meet that Chow again. Is that okay? And it will warn you one more time, you will never see that same Chow again. Are you sure? And I'm not going to say no, because I'm not a heartless bastard. I'm going to get out of here really quick, because I hate listening to that music, because it makes me really sad. It made me cry once when I actually was a kid, because I do not like getting rid of my Chow. I only ever get rid of it on rare occasions, because it comes out really messed up, and at that point, it's really just at a mercy. In any case, the thing here is a dick, too, because in SA2, in the HD version of the game, because, again, no copyright on Nintendo, that thing isn't a name rating machine. It purely exists as a trash compactor because you're getting rid of your Chow that way. In any case, this is essentially one of 3 gardens you can bring your Chow to. The Station Square Garden, which is the most modern and honestly one of my personal favorites. It consists of the Black Market and the Chow Race, which are only in this area, so if you want to bring your Chow here to relax, you can, but be warned that it's limited. The Chow Race is essentially where you can earn some of the game's emblems, and it is mandatory for 100%, and it's all based on how well your Chow is raised. Unlike the second game where you can change the outcome with your input, this one is completely based on how you raised your Chow. The Black Market is actually something new to Sonic Adventure DX, where once you go into it, I believe this was DLC in the original game, but this came with Sonic Adventure DX and Sonic Adventure DX HD. In the Black Market, you can essentially buy Chow eggs, you can buy different fruit, and you can also buy hats for your Chow. Chow will wear hats depending on how many animals you gave them, and it's a bit random. And the thing that sucks about it is that the Chow will not remove this hat unless you hit it. And I really wish there was a way to get around that. While these items are very expensive, they are rare. They are rare, no shit. They are really good if you plan on giving your Chow something to wear to make them look unique. And some Chow that you fight in the second game actually wear some of these items and they look really cool and have a really unique look. The Hero and Dark Fruit over here is something that I actually want to get into really quick. Before I mention that, the Chow Fruit is the most interesting because it raises every stat in the game, so think of it similar to Dragon Herbs and Fire Emblem. The Hero Fruit and the Dark Fruit. Because this game came out after Sonic Adventure 2, there are no heroes or villains in Sonic Adventure, just heroes. The main gimmick of Sonic Adventure 2 is that you had 3 hero characters and 3 dark characters. If you raised a Chow with a hero character, it would become a Hero Chow, as I'll show on the screen right now. Essentially, Hero Chow, they have the least variance in terms of design, but they have very good stats, and essentially, they are really, really loving Chow. Pacifists, if you will. They're supposed to represent angels, as the look is showing. The Dark Fruit, on the other hand, if you abuse a Chow with a hero character, or raise a Chow with a dark character, it becomes a dark type, which is the most varied in terms of appearance, but they act like little devils, and usually they're more suited for fighting. Because there's no dark characters in Sonic Adventure DX, the only way to get your Chow to look like this is by feeding them these fruits, and making sure that you feed them enough so that it will actually change color. A Chow will turn into white or black depending on if you feed them these fruits, or in the second game, treating them with their respective character or abusing them with their respective character. And you can see the subtle changes on them, such as the little nubs on their on the top of their heads changing, and their wings turning from angel wings to devil wings, and vice versa. I'm not going to be doing that, but I'm going to just quickly show that off, considering, yeah, this is a very long process, and what he's saying here, the items will change depending on how many emblems you get in the game. More emblems you have, the better that your, the better items the store will have. Now, I'm gonna quickly go to the other gardens to show off the other, the other Chow gardens. No shit. Any case, the quickest way to get over there without going to the hub world is by taking these. They're essentially transports that bring you to the other Chow gardens. Before I show off the complete Chow garden though, and whoa, what's with the water here? It's like especially blue. That is so weird. In any case, I'm gonna go over to the hub world because there's something that you actually want to go now. there is something you want to go now. Yes, good word phrasing me. What I was trying to say is that there's actually something for you in the hub world that I brought up earlier when we got the gold egg in Station Square. Every hub world in the game, well, all three of them, have a special Chao egg hidden within them that you can bring to the Chao Garden. A gold egg, a silver egg, and a black egg. The gold egg is over in the Station Square store, as I showed before, while the silver egg is over here in the waterfall. It's a little hard to see, but it's in that little crevice over there behind the waterfall. You want to push this switch, and the egg is popped out, but you kind of can't pick it up until it reaches the shore, so I'm going to speed this up. Okay, now that the Chao egg is at the shore... Tails, pick it up. Okay. Now that the egg is over by the shore, let's go bring it to the Chao Garden, shall we? So I'll meet you there.
8:01 p.m.
Okay, so now that we're in the Chao Garden, one thing I do want to show off, because it went off in a tangent, there are two ways to raise an egg. Or hatch the egg, at least. The way that you want to do it is by cuddling the egg, so that it raises and the Chao has a few affection towards you when it actually hatches. The bad way to do it is to hit it against a wall, and you'll get a random face depending on when you how the Chao is hatched. You have a more chance of the Chao having a messed up face if you throw it against a wall, and you have more of a chance of a Chao looking more nicer if you actually cuddle it, which I'm about to do right here. To cuddle the Chao, you basically have to pick it up, hold the X or B button, and then just hold a direction. You want to do that for a few seconds, although you want to do it for a specific amount of time if you want a specific face, and then put it down and wait for it to hatch. Well, now that's hatching, let's see what we got. Oh. Okay, we got a Chao that apparently hates its life, and it was just born. In any case, Chao, the AI that I never got into is that they'll do random things within their Chao Garden. At first, Chao only know how to crawl, but as you raise their stats, they will slowly get more intelligent, and they'll be able to get more dexterity. When you raise its speed stat, it will start to walk everywhere, to run, to jog everywhere. When you raise its flying stat, it will actively fly around the entire Chao Garden, and it will essentially fly around the entire Chao Garden for a limited amount of time. When you raise its power stat, it can do things such as dig seeds, so it can plant more trees. At least I believe it can do that in Sonic Adventure 2. If you raise its swim stat, like right here, Chao cannot swim since they're just babies, but they don't know that. So yeah, oh, okay. Going into the Chao Garden as Tails was a mistake because he's doing more harm than he should be. I'm trying to pet the. Okay. I should point out also, the petting doesn't exactly work properly in Sonic Adventure DX, so that's something you gotta be careful with, because the hit detection is really weird with it. In any case, Chao, a lot of the times, they're idiots, and they don't know what they want, so they'll end up swimming when they don't know how to swim, and they won't stop until they almost drown. If you raise their swim stat, of course, and there's a Chao hatching in the background, and he's gonna probably drown, if you raise their swim stat, they'll learn how to swim on their own, and they'll swim faster depending on how much their swim stat is raised. The last stat is stamina, and that doesn't really affect anything in this game, but it affects how much health they'll have in Chao Karate in the next game. In any case, I'm gonna go save this Chao because I didn't realize that he hatched. As you saw before in the previous Tails! Wow, someone draw a fan art of Tails being a dick. Oh, look at this Chao, he's so happy. Okay, I'm sorry, I'm gonna have to pet all these. Oh, okay, apparently he doesn't care. Yeah, when I get the oh, there's another Chao that hatched. When I get the chance off the screen, I'm gonna have to pet all these Chao and just apologize to them for Tails being a dick. In any case, what I was trying to say is that, yeah, so Chao's, the Chao stats depend on how they act, and they'll have a random AI as they're running along, the area. Now, I do want to show one thing here, but I'm gonna just come back, when we're done with this tangent, and I cannot find this Chao for the life of me. Oh well. I'm gonna come back, at the end of this tangent, because, there's one last thing I want to end this off with, but I want to show off the Egg Carrier Garden first. So I will meet you guys at the Egg Carrier because we want to get that black Chao egg. So, cut!
3:28 a.m.
Oh. Silly me, I actually forgot we can't get this Chao unless we're Amy. Well, damn. I'll see you guys in a bit.
Damn!
Okay, now that we're Amy and that was a weird camera angle, now we can go get this Chao. This Chao is over in the jail cell that we saw in the cutscene earlier when we were playing as Gamma. We take this Chao egg and we bring it over to this area over near the exit that it's a door that we previously couldn't enter to. And wow, these load screens are kind of throwing me off. There's no load screen. There's a door over here that's password protected, and it should be really obvious what the password is, but just in case, if you decide to mess up... Yeah. And it also randomizes itself if you mess up as well, so... It's kind of obvious, but the password is... I'm being really suspenseful for something that is really, really, really obvious. The password is Eggman. Once we open that, we can go... Whoa! We can go inside, and inside here... So, the Amy... What? Okay, apparently Amy's psychic. So, Eggman had the money to build all this stuff into the egg carrier, such as Skydeck, his own swimming pool, his own personal abode, a monorail, and he also has his own Chao garden. In any case, I am going to show off the alternate way of opening up eggs by being a dick. Yeah, just throw it. So the Chao has less affinity points from you when it wakes up. Amy! Oh my god, why? Okay, this is why I kind of don't like the controls in the Chao Garden and Sonic Adventure DX. Wow, there was a second black egg. This is why I don't like the controls of Sonic Adventure DX or Chao Garden that much. They are so finicky. And is the Chao going to be upset? No, it doesn't care. Okay, I'm going to show off what happens really quick. If you give it an... Oh my god, just pick it up. You give a Chao an animal, it will get random animal parts, and you will start increasing some of its stamina. And thank god it's a baby, so it doesn't know the difference between right and wrong. In any case... I can't exactly show off the last thing I wanted to show since I had to play as Amy, but this video is kind of getting a bit long as it is, and I know it's kind of ending on like a bittersweet note and everything. By the way, it says B, but I now realize why I'm messing up, because you're supposed to press X so that you do all the actions and not accidentally hit them. So I apologize for all that false information before. In any case, one thing I do want to bring up is that in both the original game and Sonic Adventure DX to an extent, despite the Chao Garden being very peaceful places, you can actually die in the Chao Garden. It is very possible to fly out of bounds with Tails in the Mr. Gruen's Chao Garden and kill yourself, and because Tails is short enough, in both Station Square and the Mr. Gruen's Garden, you can drown as Tails. This was supposedly fixed in the DX version, but you can still drown as Tails in Sonic Adventure DX. I know, morbid, right? In any case, because I barely touched this version, I do want to show off the Chao race really quickly, so I am going to Oh, hi. What does your face look like? Oh, you're so happy too! Oh, all these Chao, they're so happy, they're so cute! Anyway, I'm gonna cut over to the GameCube version like I did with, Metal Sonic, and I will meet you guys there with my Chao collection there and the Chao race, and we will end the video off with that one. So I will meet you guys over on a different system. See ya!
The next day.
Alright, we're back in the GameCube version, and I'm going to quickly show off some of the Chao that I have here, since some of these I didn't exactly raise on my own. I actually transferred them from Sonic Adventure 2. I'll explain that another day. But as I've shown off before, when I said that you can transfer Chao from Sonic Adventure 2, and they have multiple evolutions, I actually neglected to say that some of the transformations... I forget why I named that thing Breed, but some of the... Oh, that's why, because I made a shiny thing. I won't go fully in depth as to how the Chao breeding works, because it's a very long and tedious process, and frankly I don't recommend it until you actually do the, until you play SA2, but I'm going to quickly end off this bonus episode by playing as one of my personal favorite Chao, Rosaru. This is the Chao that I've had for a very, very long time, and he's also one of the mascot characters in my own series. I'll put a picture on screen right now of what he looks like. This is a recent drawing I did of the guy. I may have said this before, I don't like the Chao race in Sonic Adventure DX. I much prefer it in Sonic Adventure 2. Here's the thing. There's essentially no way to alter the events of what happens in this. Everything is up to how well you raised your Chao, and if you saw before Rosaru's stats, his power is way, way up there, but everything else is about moderate. You notice stuff like the Chow will start to fall behind by like tripping, or they'll randomly fall asleep or throw a temper tantrum or whatnot. That's all based on stamina and your Chow's personality. And here's the thing I don't like about the Sonic Adventure DX race. You notice occasionally it focuses on another Chow that isn't your own. Well, yeah, I don't know why it does that, but basically the artificial challenge of this race is that every time your Chow is in the lead or you're starting to win, it will focus on another Chow and make you encourage them instead, like that by accident, because there's no way to alter this except for cheering your Chow on, which I believe may influence something, but it really doesn't do anything except for if your Chow is in last place, it gives them a little boost when you press the A button. Unlike the second game, where if you press A, you actually can make your Chow go faster by encouraging them, this doesn't exactly do anything, so all you can do is watch Rossru decimate the competition, and yeah, I kind of spoiled that he wins this race. This is the Emerald race, which this stage consists of, I think, 5 races, which all do a certain section based on the Chow's stamina. It's based on their power, their speed, flight, swim, and stamina. And the Emerald race is basically the entire course, so it focuses on the whole thing. As you can see, like, there's a little island that would be the end of, like, the swimming race and all that. Beginner isn't that bad. It's the Jewel one you have to worry about, because those Chow are tough. The Chow somewhat have rubber band AI in the sense that the Chow will get better as you get better, in the sense that as you raise your Chow to be stronger and whatnot, the opponents will be stronger, even if you go back to the beginner races. And also, fun fact, you may have noticed too, one of my opponents is a Dark Chow. If you have any hero or angel, Angle or Devil. If you have a hero or Dark Chow in Sonic Adventure DX, then your opponents will actually be hero and Dark Chow. The game will automatically make opponents for you. It's not as in-depth as the second one, because the second one has event races, but yeah, it's just something interesting to note. And, we're almost done with this race, and I'm frankly going to put, I'm not going to speak over the next section of this, because I'm going to show off the final race of the game with one of my advanced Chow called Miss Chow, where she has all of her stats maxed out. Trust me, it took forever to get her to be like that. But my final thoughts on this adventure series, I'm really glad I was able to talk about Sonic Adventure DX, and I'm really glad that I was able to enjoy this LP with you guys. I'm sorry it took so long, and yeah, first place. Look how adorable he is. Look, he's so cute! Anyway, that aside, I'm really glad I was able to enjoy this series with all of you, and my next Sonic game, as you guys may guess, is not Sonic Heroes, since that's the starter trio thing, but my next Sonic game is going to be Sonic Adventure 2. Won't be for a while, but I'm going to do something interesting with that series, and you guys will probably see when that happens what I'm talking about. I'll go into more in-depth on what the Chow is, what happens with Chow breeding and whatnot in Sonic Adventure 2, because trust me, there's a lot changed in Sonic Adventure 2 when it comes to Chow, and frankly, I feel it's better to talk about it there rather than here. So in any case, I'm going to be showing off the final race of the game with Miss Chow over there, and yeah, I have a Sonic and Shadow Chow. It takes forever to make them too. So, I hope you guys enjoyed this LP, and I'll see you for the live stream. Until then, hope you guys enjoyed this LP. See you next time.
Playboy quoi?